Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I have a new alternate project to share with you. It's for the February 2017 Paper Pumpkin Kit. My name is Kathie. I'm a demonstrator in Ontario, Canada. Before we begin, I just want you to know that I too found the kit a little bit slim and it is going to be a little bit tough to make the alternate projects. But let's just get started with today's because it's going to be pretty easy peasy. We're going to be using a couple of these stamps from the Basket Bunch stamp set, which is in the Current Occasions catalog. And also we're going to use from the birthday banners, this stitched banner. And we're going to use these two cardstock colors from the kit. And we're going to be creating some Easter egg shapes. So to create that, I'm going to use this large oval punch, which is sadly retired. I actually bought that from Kijiji. Punch out two of those with the punch. Just place it anywhere on the cardstock. And create a smaller third egg. We're going to use the balloon bouquet punch. So once you punch that out, just remove that little nubby thing at the end there. Next, we're going to be die cutting some circles. I did have to pull out my spellbinders to get a larger circle. And out of the Stampin' Up! Dies, I'm using the largest stitched die for the white cardstock, and for the Island Indigo cardstock we're using the largest scallop. I did cut them out in advance, so we're just going to mount those two together and then we're going to pop up that piece onto the largest circle. And now we're ready to place the eggs onto the circle. So we'll stick one on flat and we'll pop up the last two eggs with dimensionals. And I really think that I should have shaded each egg, and that way it will stand out much nicer. So you can do that on yours. Okay, and now we're moving on to the banner, which I did pre-stamped and die cut ahead of time. And I'm just putting on some dimensionals so that the banner will sit nice and level across the eggs. I think I needed a little flower, so we're going to add that later on. And so onto the Love Blossoms paper pack from, I believe, last year. We're going to use something from there. And so onto the top folding card base, 4 1/4 by 11, score at 5 1/2, and the repurposed Flirty Flamingo, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and the design paper is cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. We'll just again mount that onto the repurposed Flirty Flamingo to cover up that hole. And then once we're done that, we'll mount it onto the card base. All right, now we're ready for our circle piece. And we're going to add a Sweet Sugar Plum Rouge ribbon bow onto the project. I actually made this a while ago, so I think it actually goes well with this project. Okay, so we're going to add one more element to the project. We're going to create this flower. And using my black ink, which is actually archival, because my black ink actually dried up, so I bought the refill archival ink, and it seems to be working just fine. And using the Zig Clean Real Brush in pink and light pink, we're going to color in the petals. The cardstock that I'm using is from my stash, so these markers are working not too badly. They're blending all right. And the center colors we're using is yellow and bright yellow. There is a die set to cut out the flower, but you could hand cut it yourself. And we're ready to adhere the flower to the card. I think it added a nice pop of color to the project. And I think we're going to be putting on, one more dimensional there just to make sure that the flower is nice and level. Now that this card is completed, I feel that thanks a bunch sentiment isn't quite right, so I'm going to switch it out to a Happy Easter later on. Well, I hope this video inspired you to create something fun. Thanks so much for watching.